Well, it's definitely been a week of I get knocked down, I get up again. Well, my whole life's kind of felt a little bit like that, but this week has definitely been the case. I just wanted to make a video really off the back of what's happened today, based on kind of assumptions of people with mental health issues, and not necessarily from the general public, but from those that are supposed to get it. You know, obviously I've spoken before about the DWP and things like that, and doctors and psychiatrists, and how assumptions and discrimination, if you like, goes on within organisations as well, not just the general public. And it happens a lot. And I had another experience of that today. So basically, I've wanted to do counselling for ever, basically, years, many years. But obviously I've had to think that I need to be in the right place myself to be able to do that because of what the course entails. So I've waited a long time, probably around 10 years, to really make sure that I'm in the right place to do it. You know, I got through anorexia. I haven't seen anybody for that for around 10 years now. Self-harm thing I kind of am recovered from. Unfortunately, however, I will always have bipolar, and there's not a lot I can do about that. So I applied for a level 2 counselling course, which is basically just a skills course. It's not even a diploma. The level 3 is a diploma. You kind of work up through the levels. It takes quite a long time if you go the whole way through, and costs a lot of money. So I'd waited out for this government-run adult education centre because I could get it at a reduced cost because of the concessions. So I'd waited out for them, and last year I was due to go and enrol and do it all, and the day before the tutor dropped out, which was gutting. So I've waited another 12 months for it to come round again. I've kept chasing them up, saying, you know, is this happening this year? Do you know? I've had to chase them a lot because they were pretty hopeless. Anyway, it came round that yes, they were doing it again this year. So I was there sort of straight away, ready to go for the assessment and things. So I went for the initial one, had to do a numeracy test. My maths is terrible, so that terrified me. And then I had to do just like, you know, general questions, which were just, you know, why you wanted to be a counsellor, what you think the skills of a counsellor should have, how you've implemented these in your own life, which was obviously fine. So I did that the first time. So I was called back to go and enrol the second time, to which they'd lost the initial paperwork that I'd done. So I sat and did it again. And that was after the whole thing with the bridge had become really busy. I think I had about 6 phone calls that day about all the media stuff around the bridge, interviews, 6 weeks school holidays as well. My brain was frazzled. So to get there and to be told that basically they'd lost my paperwork, and I had to sit and do this maths test and this literacy test again, I was just like, oh. But I didn't make a fuss. I didn't complain. I was like, that's fine, and I did it again. And then I had the interview, which was great. There was absolutely nothing wrong with the interview. I really got on with this lady. I actually came home and said to my partner, it's a shame she's not going to be the tutor, because she was lovely and I really got on with her. And I went in there and, you know, I was very open, and I said that I'd waited to do this course a long time, many years. I wanted to make sure I was in the right place. I was now in the right place. You know, I'm as stable as I'm ever going to be. I'm still going to have my ups and downs because I've got bipolar. I wasn't going to keep that from her because I do. And that's never going to go anywhere. It doesn't mean it's a life sentence. And I wanted to kind of make the point that it was because of my own experiences that I've become very open-minded, very passionate about helping other people. And, you know, it had given me a lot of drive. And I believe it goes in my favour at the end of the day. I understand, you know, I've got a lot of understanding for other people and their problems, I believe, off the back of my own experiences. That really shouldn't and doesn't have to be a bad thing. And it was all great, it was all fine. And then I get a phone call today saying that, not from the tutor, from the admin person, saying that the tutor had basically asked her to call me to say that unfortunately I had not been accepted onto the course due to the fact that I was vulnerable. My exact response was, "I'm sorry, what?" To which her reply was, "Unfortunately, the tutor feels that counselling isn't the course for you because of your vulnerabilities." I was fuming. I was absolutely fuming. So I asked her, quite frankly, whether what she was basically saying was that I wasn't allowed to do a counselling course because I had bipolar. To which she stumbled around a little bit and said, you know, that wouldn't be fair if that was the case. You know, people have their own issues, to which I agreed and said yes, because as you progress through counselling courses, you actually have to undertake your own personal counselling of so many hours. You have to fund that so you have the experience of actually being counselled. So I said yes, that would be unfair because, you know, you have to gain your own experience of counselling. I was like, so what you're saying is that I'm vulnerable because I've got bipolar, because the interview was fine, and that was the only reason that she gave me, was that I was vulnerable. Now, to me, that is pure discrimination. I didn't come across as vulnerable in the interview. I explained all the things I've been doing recently, the things that I've done with charities, the things that I've been doing regarding the bridge, the fact that I've been speaking to MPs, councillors, interviews. I've spoke about my own mental health till the cows come home. Would I be doing all this if I was vulnerable at this present moment in time? Bless her, she did stumble about and kind of ummed and ahed and, well, I'll get her to... So I asked for her phone number, I wasn't allowed it. I asked for her work email, I wasn't allowed that either. So she said she was going to go off and give my concerns back to the tutor. But I was just absolutely disgusted that apparently we have to go by her because she's been a counsellor and doing this for a few years now. So she has the right to judge me and make an assumption that because I have bipolar that I'm not going to be able to deal with a counselling course. I'm not being funny, I've dealt with a lot more, even over the last couple of weeks. And I found it really, really patronising, actually. And I was so angry I had to leave the house and go for a walk for a bit, just because I was absolutely fuming that she'd made this judgment, especially seeing as in the interview itself we'd spoken a lot about assumptions, because she'd asked me the things that counsellors, what I thought the things that counsellors shouldn't do. So one of my first responses was make assumptions, to which she'd said, I really like that word, I'm glad you've brought that up. We talked about assumptions and how they can be harmful to other people, and what she's gone and done is made an assumption on me based on nothing about the fact, apart from the fact that I've told her that I've got bipolar. It's not right, and it's really, really harmful. Like the conversation that I had to her specifically on that day, it's such a harmful thing to do, is to just make an assumption, you know, that someone's completely vulnerable because they've got a mental illness. It's not a life sentence. We're people still, and we can still function and do things. And that assumption shouldn't be made based on nothing. I didn't even have to tell her. I was honest in a completely open way, because I thought, you know, it shouldn't go against me. If anything, it should go for me, because it's given me the empathy and the experience of being able to, you know, connect with other people. Apparently not. So yeah, that I just wanted to put that out there really, because it's just another example of just pure stigma, and from the people that are supposed to get it. And I just wonder where all this will end sometimes. You know, if you're saying that somebody can't go and do a course because they've got a mental illness, then where does it end?